It makes me feel like, we're just sheep falling in line. I don't know.
And the thing is, what happens in Louisiana, other states like a Mississippi or Georgia or Alabama, these Republican, it's not even a Republican thing. It's more of a bigot. It's like more of a bigot behavior. They are targeting certain individuals, right? They leave the middle school and then they go to, say, another state.
Yeah.
In their education, they take priority in their education, and now the kid is feeling left behind because...
First thing they're going to do is hit you with an ADHD.
Yeah. They're
going to hit you with a dyslexia. Mm-hmm. They're going to hit you with any other thing because they need to just figure out what box to put you in instead of just actually looking at it and saying, hey, listen, you didn't get the same math instruction that this kid did.
100%.
And the track you're on is broken. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Business is War podcast. This is a platform where we talk about any and everything that we can to help give you gems and jewels in order to live a better life, in order to grow a better business and be a better person. Today, I am honored to have Black Adam from the Cultural Network with us, podcast network, to just kind of be like our co-host. So we're going to do some tandem work and we're going to have a great time. Welcome to the show, brother.
Oh, thank you, brother.
How you doing, man?
I'm great. How about yourself?
Now, you from New Orleans, but you ain't, are you really from, because I got to push right at you.
Go ahead. I'm from New Orleans, born and raised on the West Bank.
What hospital you was born in?
Hospital, West Jeff.
Okay.
West Jeff High School. West Jeff Hospital.
Okay.
Is West Jeff still there? I think it's gone, though.
It might be.
They might have changed the name.
It might be. Might be East Jeff now, something like that. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And where'd you go to high school?
Shaw. I went to Shaw High School. Archbishop Shaw.
Okay, you had that Catholic money.
No. See what happens when you could use your legs and your arms and your hands.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah, you get a little advantage. You know what I'm saying?
And then you ended up leaving New Orleans for the rest of your life, I guess, right?
No, actually, you know what? It's a funny story, man. So when I left New Orleans, I went to Baton Rouge, right, to Southern University. Shout out to Southern University. Did Southern University, did the 4 years, and then from there, I played ball. So I got an opportunity to play a little ball, professional football, so that's when I traveled.
So why do I hear so much good stuff about Southern University? Everybody that I know there, I'm a name drop an attorney, Edwin Shorty.
Okay.
He's an attorney that's in this building, and he also is a friend of mine. And I've spoken with him on many occasions. He swears by their law program because he was an attorney that graduated from Southern.
Yes.
So what's the mystic?
So Southern is first of all, thank you for acknowledging that. But Southern is one of the most prestigious HBCUs in America. The reason I'm saying that because it has 5 schools, right? You have the law program, you have the agriculture program, you have a school in New Orleans, Baton Rouge, and Shreveport. The only Division I school that has 5 locations, right? And it's a black school. So now that's one. In terms of excellence, you're talking about the top law program in the world.
Wow.
Not the United States, in the world.
I've heard that. And so I'm just like, how does that even unpack,
So, and it's right there in Baton Rouge, and it's all majority black, 95% black. So that's excellent at its highest degree. So when you talk about the education, it's top tier. And then, when I was in school there, the athletics, I played football, athletics was top tier. We won championship after championship under the leadership of under Coach Richardson. So, yeah, man, Southern actually cultivated and changed me as an individual, as a black man, as a business person, just as a person, just to communicate.
I think that everybody should be in touch with their roots and their culture. And I say that word with a little bit of challenge right now. We'll talk about that, but I think it's important that black and brown people do at least know where they came from very intelligently. Not just kind of through, I get it, but to actually go into the history of where we came from and be educated around people like ourselves and have a little bit more healthy relationship with themselves. Because remember, I think there's a lot of imposter syndrome going on.
You think so?
I'm 100% sure. Like, you meet the average black guy, he doesn't know anything about black culture. And so when you look at that guy, can he really, really reach his full potential if he doesn't know where he started and where his people started from?
No, they can't.
And so that's why I say I hear so many things about Southern and maybe Tuskegee and Morehouse being able to do that for black men.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
So you have a number of did you go attend HBCU?
Not at all. But listen, I'm telling you, I have to be a fan, and I actually do support some of them.
Okay.
Financially as well as through my talk. talks and stuff because I do a book tour and I hit those schools.
Yes.
One of them I hit was in Houston. It was TSU.
Yeah, we got Texas Southern and Prairie View in Houston. The thing about HBCUs is why I think it's so important, and people can't forget this. You know, it was one time in America history where just thinking about what happened in Louisiana not too long ago, but we could talk about that later. But one time in history that black people couldn't attend white colleges, right? It was against the law.
It wasn't that long ago.
It wasn't. It was in the 70s, right?
Yeah.
So HBCUs was the only schools, the institutions where they educated only blacks. Right. And then, you know, from there, they always say that a black person has to be 10 times better.
Yeah.
And that's what every school strive for. When you come out of this university, you're going to be 10 times better than your opponent. So that's why, you know, the older generation, even the generations now, they have that same mentality when they leave out of that school. That's why they so passionate. You might say, I went to Howard, Spelman,
I'm telling you,
Morehouse.
everybody have it.
Yeah, it's like that pride.
It's almost like that's on the freshman orientation that
Yes.
you guys get the pride.
100%.
I don't get it, but because obviously I haven't had the experience. But everybody that I know that does the historically black college, route, they actually do come away with that, and I'm impressed by it. Let me say that.
Yes, thank you, man. Man. So your journey. Let me ask you about your journey.
Okay.
So first of all, where are you from?
I was born in Charity Hospital. I could walk to it from here.
Goodness. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I think my mama rode the 2-lane bus to Charity, had me, and took a cab home. You know what I'm saying? One of them horror stories. You know, we didn't have anything, bro.
Okay, from Charity. So, what high school you attended?
See, that's complicated.
Okay.
And I hate that I can't just say St. Aug or, Kennedy or something like that, because when I was in the 6th grade at Helen Cox, which was before they tore it all the way down, my mom married a military man.
Okay.
And I ended up in the 7th grade in Seattle, Washington. Look at how far that is.
Wow.
I went from the average kid in school to the officially dumbest kid in Seattle, Washington, curriculums. I struggled through, got on my feet 2 years later for us to have to move to Maryland. And I'm like, man, I just caught up, and now we're going to do it again.
Wow.
Play it again, Sam. And so now I'm in my upper graduate school, high school in Upper Marlboro, Maryland, Clinton, Maryland. Shout out to, Silver Springs and the rest of them. And I'm really getting that travel, that exposure, because you're talking about a kid from New Orleans who never really been in the Superdome. And now I've been to both Washington, D.C., as well as Washington State.
Coast to coast, yeah.
And I finished out there and then up to come back to freaking the West Bank, where we came from, because we wanted to come back home to graduate from West Jeff High School.
So you have a different, unique story, because now you have the West Coast, right? And that's a different side of that's the northern West Coast.
Let me tell you what I saw up there. That's the first time I ever met Filipino people. Because down here we have Vietnamese.
Vietnamese, yeah.
They Filipino, which is on that Hawaiian side.
Right.
And on that Alaskan Eskimo energy type
Polynesian,
of vibe. Polynesian, right. And everybody's, you know what I'm saying? So everybody was short, everybody was kind and polite, a little round, and they ate weird foods that I wasn't accustomed to here in New Orleans.
Yeah, no season.
Well, yeah, nice and fried lumpia.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And so I was an anomaly, because of being a black man up in Oak Harbor, Washington, which is the military island in the top left crack of Washington State. I didn't deal with racism, because the West Coast does racism different than the South.
Right, 100%.
But trust me, I missed all of the black identity from those years that I was there.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is different, because you're looking at culturally, you're looking at the west side of the United States. Like you said, you experienced racism in a different way.
It was humbling.
Right? And then you went all the way to the other side, which is a whole nother dynamic.
Man, I was scared as hell, because them Baltimore boys was gangsters,
Real deal, bro.
I was like, Mama, the first day of school, I said, Ma, I ain't gonna make it. I swear to God, that is a true story. And I was small. I was like, Ma, I'm not gonna make it. Everybody's huge, and everybody's aggressive, and they have a East Coast New York bravado. The DMV energy.
Yeah.
And I wasn't cut out for it. I ended up having to go to a private Christian school that academically was on another level.
Okay.
And the only problem with the school is that instead of teaching just math and science and so on and so forth, they integrated the biblical studies.
Okay.
And so that was hard for me. But, dog, I come from dire straits, so I didn't have a time chance, so I had to make the adjustment.
So when you guys came back to Louisiana,
Smartest kid in class.
I'm about to say your
smartest kid in class.
Your mindset, your vocabulary, your education
I'm
level.
looking at them and I'm like, Mom, they don't know how to read. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn. But again, though, it's just that I don't want to say that it's anybody's fault, but I will say that the system requires a lot of work.
Yes, 100%.
Let me explain. Budgets. What's important to Seattle is very different than what's important to Washington, D.C., Maryland.
Yes.
What's important to Washington, D.C., Maryland is very different than what's important to Louisiana. Mm-hmm. And when you're dealing with lower income, you're also dealing with lower taxes. Lower taxes mean a worse educational system, arguably. And it's tough, man. I just don't know how a kid today can survive if they took my journey or if they just got their own journey. It's rough. And
I think it's rough if a kid leaves, like, say, middle school, those pivotal developmental years. They leave the middle school and then they go to, say, another state.
Yeah.
In their education, they take priority in their education, and now the kid is feeling left behind because...
First thing they're going to do is hit you with ADHD.
Yeah. They're
going to hit you with a dyslexia. Mm-hmm. They're going to hit you with any other thing because they need to just figure out what box to put you in instead of just actually looking at it and saying, hey, listen, you didn't get the same math instruction that this kid did.
100%.
And the track you're on is broken.
Yes.
And who has time for that when you got 30 kids and you have 7 classes?
Yes. You don't have time.
That's what I'm saying when I say that I think we've failed to adjust the educational system, regardless of where you at and who you are. Mm-hmm. And it just, one size does not fit all.
Yeah, no, it does. It's not a cookie cutter system. It's broken, and especially here in Louisiana. So I want to kind of, pivot a little bit because I'm so passionate about Louisiana because I'm from here, right? Even though I live in other states, but I'm so concerned right now, especially this day and time, with the civil rights thing, right?
Let's talk about it.
The civil rights thing, it's like, I'm upset with a lot of us.
Okay.
Because we had an opportunity not to get this dude in, right? When I say this dude, I'm talking about Jeff Landry, the governor, right? At the time before he got in, they said over 200,000 black people didn't vote.
So now you done pissed me off because I hate that. So I've heard somebody, I have a friend, I'm speaking to you right now. He said to me, and I quote, Elliot, I don't vote because my vote doesn't matter.
And that's crazy.
And I said, well, if you don't vote, then you don't matter.
That's right.
And then you teach that to your children.
100%.
And then your behavior is what leads your house. And now you got an entire house that doesn't participate. And so for me, I'm like, I think the least you can do is to submit your vote, to cast your ballot.
At least.
Because you think about the Edmund Pettus Bridge and so many other civil rights things. I mean, do we need a reminder? Do we need it? And listen, if you think about it, now you see them having stripped us and do the political gerrymandering.
Yes. Yes.
It makes me feel like, we're just sheep falling in line. I don't know.
And the thing is, what happens in Louisiana, other states like a Mississippi or Georgia or Alabama, these Republican, it's not even a Republican thing. It's more of a bigot. It's like more of a bigot behavior. They are targeting certain individuals, right? They're not going to say black, but I can say black. And
well, it's obvious.
Yeah, right.
That's the ones that's in the crosshairs of the gun.
Right.
And my problem is, how do you fight back? You give the power away. I know that black people are about 12 to 13% of the U.S. population.
Yes.
I understand that. But there are enough liberal-minded people that could potentially protect the rights, voter rights. Like, what in the world is voter rights doing on a ballot anywhere in the United States in 2026?
That's crazy. That's crazy. And in a state like Louisiana, well, let's say New Orleans. Just say New Orleans. New Orleans is 30% black, right? Baton Rouge is 30% black, right? So you got 30% of that population is black. Now, out of that 30%, let's say 20% out of that 30% didn't even go to the...
That doesn't make any sense.
At all.
So listen, the name of your podcast is Podcast Cultural Network, right?
Yeah, Culturally Distinct.
Okay, Culturally Distinct. How do you feel about the culture? Because I almost feel like there's a culture that doesn't vote.
Well, the good thing about ours is good. It's a two-way thing. So I think it's since we're a culture, we're part of one culture, black, coming from the diaspora of Africa, we have distinctions. right? You don't wear your hair like I wear my hair, right? You don't dress like I dress. You don't speak how I speak.
Right.
That what makes us distinct. But we're all part of the same culture, right?
Right.
Now, when we talk about political culture, it's different. Like I live in Texas, in Houston. So our political culture is totally different from Louisiana culture. And Houston has a lot of people from Louisiana that lives there. But the political culture mindset is different from if you live in Louisiana versus in New Orleans mindset. So my opinion, I just think, man, we make it a priority because we pay taxes.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, I think, here, and I don't want to like speak too soon, but just looking at the voting rights and looking at the people that actually like take advantage of the voting rights, it's not that many.
So listen. Now I have to ask the question. I mean, if we're spending our time in clubs on the couch, pouring wine on the floor, bottles on the floor, you know what I'm saying? And I'm wondering. I'm really, really wondering. Are we getting better?
Okay.
Are we getting better? Which is a real question. Because to be truthful with you, I should do better than my parents did.
100%.
And they should have done better than theirs.
100%.
But for the first time in the last 100 years of recorded education, we're failing to up-educate the generations that are coming behind us. Because that calculator did not teach you how to carry the one. Kids can't do math.
100%.
Okay, AI is doing all of that for you, and I don't believe that. I believe that the use of the brain and the cognitive function has declined because of the tools. Like we used to be stronger 20 years ago, because we did more manual labor. Now we barely walk to the mailbox.
Well, I think that is true, but I also think AI. So AI is a good tool.
I think it's the devil.
It's a great tool to have.
It's the devil.
But that's what it is. It's a tool. I think with our generation, we know how to do hard work with our hands.
That's right.
And the generation before us, of course, they had no choice but to do it with their hands. But the generation behind us, I think it's more of they're depending on that to think, to do everything for them. And it's like when that doesn't operate properly, they go haywire.
Do you know how many men today in 2026 cannot do 5 pull-ups?
Really?
Think about what I'm saying.
Physically.
Just think about it.
Yeah.
How you gonna protect your girl? And why, if you was a girl, why would you be with a man who can't do 5 pull-ups?
Right.
I know it sounds crazy, but I'm saying that I think we're not getting better. And I asked a viewer, I asked the guest last time, what do people know less about? The way that money works or the way that their body works? And when you look at it, we are financially not as astute.
Okay.
For whatever reason.
Okay.
I think it's like we live in a catch and grab kind of conversation. So for instance, today's 25-year-old has had more jobs than their parent.
Yeah.
Their parent has had less than 10 jobs. Today's 25-year-old has been on 10 jobs already with no consistent sticking. They're not getting jobs in their career field. And we can talk about the problems all day, but the reason that I do this is because I want to bring awareness to it. You're not supposed to be trying every damn job out there and just jumping because your resume now looks like a doggone travel map.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
That's one thing. Number 2, you got to be able to stick with, but again though, here comes the AI and the attack on human capital. And that's all business is war stuff, because if you really think about it, if AI can do the job cheaper, faster, and better, then why would they have a human being with an attitude sitting up in the office?
100%. And then AI is 100%. It does it 24/7.
Oh man, listen.
It doesn't need a break.
And no health insurance.
No insurance.
No bathroom breaks.
Nothing.
You know what I'm saying? And they don't have traffic problems.
Right. Right. 100%.
And so for me, I'm like, bro, people have got to start paying attention.
Yeah.
Do you ever think that we're going to go to universal income and everybody get to stay home and watch TV?
No, I don't think that. Like, how they have these conspiracy theories. I don't think it's going to be that way. I think you always going to need human labor, right? Always. Now, the type of human labor might change. You always going to need a doctor. You always going to need an engineer. You always going to need a roofer.
I think AI is coming for the medicine. I really do. It can read them charts better than the human can.
It can, but you still need physical hands to do it.
Okay, all right.
I was making this example the other day about the error. Human error, well, I'm sorry, not human error, but computer error always takes place. But the thing is, with humans, if we made an error, we know how to adjust on the spot. A computer can't.
Right.
A computer is only programmed what it's programmed to do. Now, they say AI is smarter, but
it's learning.
It's trying to, but it only learns if you put it in it. If you put the information in AI, then it would try to.
What if it has access to every bit of historically recorded information ever?
I don't know, because AI would never learn SOS. So when I say SOS, the signal, like the hand signals.
I don't know about that one.
So all right, so
I don't know about that one.
All right, so
I just feel like it can pretty much do everything. It can even make you coffee because we got one of them up in there right now.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It may not be able to give it to you, but you know you can go take it. So I just don't know where it's going to end at. Now, in my humble opinion, I think in 20 years we'd be running from the robots.
You think so?
Man, listen, I was in Atlanta, Georgia last year. That's 10 months ago.
Yeah.
And I watched a robot come deliver some food. A dog, a little dog come and deliver food. And another robot was like, "You standing in the spot too long. You got to keep moving."
You got to go, right? Yeah.
And I'm like, this is so. And then I got into a Waymo car and went to the restaurant. And I mean, self-driving.
Yeah.
And so for me, nobody would have ever 10 years ago thought there was a self-driving car on a highway or a street in the United States.
But you know what those cars? It's actually human that's operating those cars.
I don't know the answer to that. Them cameras is real. I don't know if people are driving the car. Listen, think about this. What's the real-time capability of you being in Baltimore driving a car in Florida?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Through you know what I'm saying?
The Matrix, yeah.
All I'm saying is that I think that there is something there. So I believe that we'll be running from robots at some point, and then we'll go back to the gender roles then. Feminism is out of here because when the time to go to war, they ain't gonna be able to pick up the big M16. Yeah. They're gonna be looking like, you know what I'm saying? So I just think that there is so much happening that we're getting ready to change so fast.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, you gotta get with the times. But I also believe that I believe in a sense of spirituality.
Okay, let's talk about that because, I read something called The Future of Faith.
Okay.
And it said that by 2050, people will be non-believers all across the board.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. But it still is a sense of spirituality because the thing is, things just don't happen, right? A robot can't cultivate that, right? Even if you, let's say you was asked to AI about a relationship that you feel kind of shaky about.
They already giving relationship advice.
But they're giving it to the person that's putting the information in and what they think the person wants to hear versus giving them the actual advice. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I got something. Remember today, because I'm telling you that I believe that AI will start preaching sermons.
Hey, some people,
think about it. Ooh, I might want to try to corner that market and give me some of that money. Think about that.
Right.
Because if we just, that's interesting. So I think the new thing is, what can AI not do? Not versus what can it do?
AI can't do a lot. So AI is powered by what you give it. Remember
I think that be access to all information available, the World Wide Web, the moment it's plugged in, it knows everything.
For instance, remember back in the day we had analog phones?
I do.
Right? AI doesn't know what that is. They just know the digital, because digital is in the airspaces, right? But analog is, you got to do it yourself. You got to remember it yourself. So
how many phone numbers you remember right now?
Right now in my head, 10. I do that on purpose because I saw this not too long ago. And it was on a talk show, and it was like, how many numbers do you actually know? And I know actually 10.
Yeah, that's tough too. I might know 5. You know what I'm saying?
And these are the numbers of the pivotal people in my life.
Yes.
Right? So, but I always did that since I was younger. I always remember those numbers.
Man, I remember I used to have I had about 40 in my head, bro. And all I need to do is look at the phone and I can remember the numbers. Yeah. And I know they just had to know what they start with, 95444, whatever the case might be. But that was the old big usage of our brain. Now think about this. In 1800, do you believe that people had access to as many people as they had right now?
No.
You lived on the farm. You lived wherever you lived in rural areas. Even if you lived in the city, you didn't know 2,000 people.
No.
Today, we are connected in such a way to where the personal aspect of a relationship has been compromised.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? So
this right here, the microphone podcast, we could put this out, it goes to millions of people.
That's right. It sure does.
Right? In a second. So I want to ask you this. The title, Business is War. So I want you, because I was thinking about that on the way over here. Business is war.
Yeah.
What does that actually mean to you?
Until you've been kicked in the teeth. Until you've stared bankruptcy in the face.
Okay.
Until you've watched the best employee you have walk out the door for $1 more and a lie. Until you watch the real estate price give you the letter and say, hey, look, we ain't going to renew your lease because somebody buying a building or the price just doubled or et cetera. Until the food company tells you, we can't sell you the chicken at $3, now it's $6. That's a 100% increase. Until you watch so many war stories. And here's another one. You take and open your family pastry shop, put a title on it, put a sign on it, stick your flag in the ground and say, I'm here. And then somebody don't like you, just come and tear your ass up with a 1-star review, and you can't even get it to come down.
Oh, wow.
Until you've been in that trench with the trench coat on and the army helmet, shooting at the enemy, trying to survive, you don't understand the concept of business is war.
Yeah,
and
I got you.
I do. And I've been in this game 20 years, 11 of them as a small business owner, entrepreneur, investor, coach, professor, you name it. I've made the pivot throughout the years, but I didn't start here.
Right.
And so when I invest in small businesses, when I service them with my payments company, when I offer them intelligent resources to help them be better, I see what their fight is. And some of them can't get over those hurdles. Some of them, that 1-star review will take them down. Some of them, that Cisco price might jump, it'll take them down. Some of them, the real estate will take them down. So as I kept going over and over and over again, about the 10-year mark, I was like, man, y'all all failing the same test. I decided to put it in a book.
Okay.
And I wrote the book Business is War from a vantage point of I had access to thousands of people that were fighting the same battles around about. And so when I put it into that manuscript, I went ahead and published it, and I got great reviews on it, but I left a lot of meat on the bone because I felt like, damn, I can't say enough about all the problems that they're going to face and maybe what they should be thinking about when they're standing in front of a closed door. So there it is.
So in saying that, because this is an interesting conversation, because I talk about the business all the time, you know, entrepreneurs and serial entrepreneurs and business owners and people that buy businesses. What do you think the biggest disconnect is now with Black people specifically that starts businesses, and some that maintain businesses are the ones who had businesses that now are going out of business?
I think that our people perish for lack of knowledge.
Okay.
I mean that, and I mean it, and it hurts me. It hurts me because many are called and few are chosen. Why would you start a business and you've not put a level of proficiency into it? I just told you that I was in the business 20 years before I started my business at year 10.
Yeah.
So I got 10 years of mastery, 10,000 hours, right?
Yes.
So the cook who turns into a chef, who turns into a sous chef, to an executive chef, who now meets the people with the money, who takes the step because he wants his own shop because he's worked in somebody's stuff for a very long time, he's got enough tenure to be able to say, I can handle the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. But when you just start with a suppers out your trunk and jump right to a brick and mortar, I think you missed a few steps.
Yeah.
Now name me one job, name me one profession that you can just start and it only costs you $75 like an LLC, free tax ID number. None. You can't become a CPA overnight.
No.
An attorney overnight.
No.
A surgeon overnight. An anesthesiologist overnight. You can't even you can become a politician overnight because we can see clearly that they ain't got no proficiency.
100%.
Okay, but if you think about it, all the greatest and most high-paying careers require some level of understudy that graduates you to a place of proficiency.
100%.
So when you ask me, what's the big disconnect? We've missed a lot of steps in becoming proprietors. We are not educated in what it really means to be out there on that field by yourself and nobody helping you and nobody coming to save you. And you look at, so you ask, why is the customer service so bad? Because they started bad. Why is why are the product offerings so bad? It's because they started bad. People aren't mastering their craft at all.
What's your take on partnerships?
I think partnerships are a very valuable lesson in business.
Okay.
Everybody should have them, but people they should really know what their role is in the partnership. I'm good with the money. I'll worry about the money. This person is the talent. Okay. We got to be able to put a system around him so that his talent can shine. And you need to be able to respect the boundaries. Yeah. Almost like a marriage.
Oh, 100%.
Do you understand how important a marriage is with Alpha and Omega and with A's and B's and everybody else working together?
Yeah, balance.
You have to have it. But again, though, name me something with balance that actually works forever. Let me explain. If you talk about the entrepreneur gate, you're never going to get to the next level talking about work-life balance. So it's a tricky double-edged sword.
Yeah. Yeah.
The person that you see on TV and you remember these names, they're the people who are unbalanced and obsessed.
100%.
And I speak on that in the book as the commodity that you need in order to get to that next level. You need a level of lunacy.
You got to.
Yeah.
Most successful people, to your point, most successful people that are like successful or what we consider as financially stable, they are like crazy to a degree.
To a degree.
Because you got to be obsessed with it.
In order for you to say, I want to build this 70-story building and put my name on it, and I wanted this color, you have to have some level of vision.
Yes.
And to be able to pull something out of your brain and to put it on paper and to put it into the sky takes a level of you're ignoring all of the warning signs and the no's that come with this particular move.
Right.
The average person doesn't have that. And that's okay, because that average person needs to go work in that office. But let me tell you what entrepreneur marketing has done. It has made the woman who sits in the cubicle feel like she's an underachiever, when in truth, she was a part of the partnership that was required to make the bigger thing move.
Right.
But now she wants to be in charge, but she ain't got the tenure.
Yeah, she ain't got the education, the time.
Now you understand what I'm saying. So
the relationships.
So I think that's a major problem in today's society, and I believe culture does play a role, that people don't know who they are in the process.
Right.
Man, come on, let's be honest, bro. If you can't balance your checkbook, then why would you open a business?
Yeah, 100%.
If you ain't on time for nothing, why would you open a business?
Well, you know what I think it is? I think because this digital age, they have content creators and they open it overnight.
Lying, bro.
And still, though, with these content creators, they don't realize how much time and hours they put into this stuff in order to perfect what they got going on. I was listening to Charleston White before he became...
Man, he crazy, bro.
He's crazy, but if you listen to him, he said at one point in his life, he was talking about reform. He was talking about helping.
Ain't nobody came to support him.
Nobody paid attention.
Right.
Until he started talking crazy and just being irate and just saying all this outlandish stuff, then when people started paying attention, so he said, once I get you there, now I can start educating you without really trying to get you. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, like you said, in terms of the obsession and being a lunatic when it comes to your passion and your purpose, but and that's crazy. That's like, you can't be balanced. But I wonder why marriages don't work if you
let's talk about that. You know what? I went to a mental health retreat recently.
Okay.
And it was Black Men Unfiltered.
Okay.
And it was about what they were dealing with, where they were on the journey. Give me the age, give me the full stats. And one of the guys stood up and said, I just had a baby. And we all said, congratulations.
Yeah.
And he said, me and the young lady aren't getting along right now. And I said, okay, all right. So you just fathered a child, brought it into this world, and you are basically saying you don't want to be with the woman no more, which can happen.
Yeah.
But I asked him, have you ever really wrote down on a piece of paper exactly what you needed from her to do, and who she should be to you?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, what do you mean? I said, well, she's going to always fail you if you don't know what you want from her. And I think that's what most marriages miss. What exactly do you want from your significant other? Mm-hmm. And can you just put that in? I want you to actually write it down so you can see it. Best relationship advice ever. Because if you thinking, oh, she ain't making me happy. Okay, cool. What does that look like? She ain't making me happy. Okay, cool. Well, what does happy look like?
Yeah.
Can you clearly define that? The answer is most of us don't know what the hell we want, let alone with. And listen, and now they got to read the mind. No, you want them to read your mind and to do the impossible for you. Who the hell are you?
100%.
And so that's why a lot of men, let's talk about it. Man, listen, today's woman is 30 and she hasn't had any kids. Yeah. She's barely has been in a relationship. I even read something recently that the average 25-year-old has not had sex yet. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so what we gonna do with the population if ain't nobody having sex?
Well, I think we're having sex, but we're not having it at the rapid rate we used to have it.
Yeah, well, I hate to tell you, a declining population is a problem. Right. Because now you got all these buses with nobody on them. You got all these buildings with nobody in them. You got all these restaurants with nobody eating because they're not going anywhere. They're not socializing. Nobody's dancing anymore. Yeah. Okay, there are a lot of problems with today's dating situation, and I blame culture on a lot of it because I'm sitting here thinking the black culture moves this entire planet.
100%.
However,
100%.
Is it moving it to the benefit of the family nucleus? Because remember, back in the day, men wore suits, had a pair of clean shoes, pocket watch,
all the time,
little handkerchief, a little top hat,
a little brim, yeah.
Maybe they even pull their little specs out. Yeah. People were classy. That was the classic era of good dressing.
Yes.
What are we doing now? Man,
Yeah, I
you
know.
go to the airport, it's embarrassing.
Yeah, I know, right? Furry slippers and see-through and tight. And
Don't bring the shower cap too.
what they call it? Athleisure wear?
I didn't know that. That's a terrible term. I hope they stricken it from the playbook. I hope they do.
Yes, athleisure wear. When you're working out, but you're not working out, just to have it on because it's comfortable.
Yeah, it is. And so getting back to culture, where do you think the culture is today?
Today, in terms of, so Black culture, I think, one, musically, because I think music influenced everything, right? I think that we're in a place right now where consciousness is starting to show its head a little bit.
I hope so.
A little bit. So, you know how we used to have conscious rap, right? So everybody was kind of aware what's going on. I was talking to
Self-destruction.
Right?
Public Enemy.
Yes.
Boogie Down Productions.
Yes.
That was back then.
So, but I'm saying, to that point, that made the world conscious, right, of what was going on with the culture. Now, the reason why I said music, because I think music and art is one of the biggest influential factors for Black people. And Black people run the world, pretty much.
Yeah.
Right? So now, as we start to become more aware of what's going on in the culture, then I think that things are starting changing. I think we're actually now communicating with each other.
Okay.
Right? We're not communicating in terms of like he against she, feminine against masculine.
Yeah, we don't have that movie already.
Right, we done that. That's played out with the Kevin Samuels era, right? With the pandemic, that's what that was. Now I think it's more people that's having that conversation with the opposite sex and trying to figure out what's going on. And not just take it a step further, also you mentioned something about mental health. I think now we are getting actually diagnosed, right, with things that we didn't think we had, but we're getting help for it.
Well, listen, mental health is a whole Superdome full of problems. Okay, and the reason I say that is because if you're looking at today's kid that was a COVID kid, they were isolated, they lack socialization.
Yeah.
These kids today, the ramifications are that they don't communicate.
Yep.
They're at dinner on the phone with the same person that's sitting next to them. You know what I'm saying? They haven't spoken to a human being outside of themselves through using their auditory capability to, you know what I'm saying? And so I talk to young ladies and they're like, man, ain't nobody ever asked me out. Like in your lifetime?
Yeah.
No. You've never been on a date? No. Has any man ever opened the door for you? No, not yet. I'm waiting.
Right.
You know, and so now you got the I don't need a man conversation and the I've never had a man conversation, and we don't even know what a real man looks like today. And so that's why I tell young men, if you are a stand-up, well-dressed young man today in this world, firm handshake and can speak the King's English, boy, you can go places that you never dreamed of.
100%.
But today, it's like we shelter in place. I know so many kids that came home from college. Thank God they either finished it or they didn't finish college, came home, and they've been on that couch ever since.
But you don't think this is so it's like, you don't think this is a time to, education is prevalent now? Because now I think we're at a flat line, right?
Yeah, okay, you said we had a reset.
You got to reset. So now, if we have the individuals who are aware of what's going on, that's a teaching moment, right? Even though it might be from a podcast or it might be from an interaction, one-on-one interaction. But it's like a reset because, like you said, the young lady that never been asked out, now that's the lesson. That's like the teaching moment. It's like, okay, this is what happens. Right. So
let me give you another clear indicator. Number one, dating apps and online dating has gone down tremendously. Okay, number one. Number two, there was a moment where kids vaped to death, and now they don't even vape no more. These kids are not loyal to anything.
Yeah, 100%.
Number three, they're not even drinking alcohol.
Yeah.
Okay, so look at the way that and that's what I tell businesses. I coach them. You better pay attention to the customers. That's available in this particular economy because you gotta deal with them if you're going to survive. So if they ain't vaping, they ain't drinking, they ain't dating, you know what I'm saying? What are they doing? Oh, they're not even working out. But then when you go to a restaurant, if you and I went to a restaurant right here in New Orleans right now, in Houston right now, we'll see a lot of women eating in congregation. Where in the hell are the men?
Yeah, you're right. They have girls teas and the girls brunches.
Listen, and for a long time, the women have been the easiest people to fit in the U.S. economy because they fit well.
Yeah.
You can pay them a little bit. They can sit in the corner and they can do the job. They handle repetitive tasks well. They're responsible. They ain't got the testosterone of a man that's saying, let's go build a building. But I don't know which building to build. I don't know which direction to go. So look at the entire play that you have as a coach that you're trying to call, and you just got to deal with what you're dealing with. So as far as the reset goes, I'm hoping for it. I think education needs to make a real shift, not just in the schools, but in the adulthood too. Because let me explain something to you that I say all the time. Most people don't know how to wake up, get out the bed, and have a good day.
Okay.
They'll wake up and stay stuck on the same thing they've been stuck on. Yeah. And the cycle continues. So if you feel negative, everything about the day is going to be negative. It's going to happen to you because of the laws of attraction. So many people don't understand that. And we have a real victim mentality out here.
Well, I think that's why therapy is important. I think that's why to answer your question earlier about the culture, I think a lot of more people are receiving and getting therapy because they're trying to figure out just that.
How to get up out the bed.
Why am I feeling like this? And even though I'm aware of what's going on, but I don't know why. I don't know if it's a childhood thing. I don't know if it's a social thing. I don't know if it's my mom always I don't know. So I need help for this. I need somebody to tell me exactly, okay, guide me through what's going on. Why do I feel like this? And I have a good job. My kids are successful. My family is successful. But I feel like this. That's why I think therapy is part of the culture. We're understanding how to go get help.
Let me tell you something. I had my back hurt about 2 months ago.
Okay.
And I called 3 people that I love dearly that are close to me, that support me. They're my tribe. And I said, my back's hurting. I need to go somewhere and get me a damn adjustment because I feel like I'm stiff and I'm lean. I'm walking around. I'm having some issues, right? And they said, okay, well, let's all hands on deck.
Okay.
We gonna call everybody to get your back adjusted. Man, them people was talking about 2 weeks. I'm like, 2 weeks?
Okay.
For a $75 back crack? And so finally, after an entire day of calling every chiropractor in New Orleans, I was able to find that one person still hustling. Oh, you can come over here right now. Bring me my $75 plus tax.
Yeah.
And I said, I have the cash.
Right.
But the point I'm making is that is a real situation. The health system is in shambles.
Yeah.
You ain't about to just go nowhere and get no service.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, man, I want all the money. If I was a back cracker, I'd have $69 back cracking specials. Come one, come all, come ye all.
Right.
You know, but I don't think people have that hustle and that drive, and I don't know where it comes from. It comes from being born in comfort. And I think that the best thing that a person could ever want in their life is to be born with 2 loving parents and broke. Because every lesson that you're going to ever learn comes from not having and having to learn the mechanical skill of getting.
But that's interesting. So basically you're saying that we're beneficial if we come in deficiency.
I think that I think my disadvantages became my advantages. I know people who grew up in a much more structured environment, that went to Disney World, that went to the Saints games and all those other things. And I look at them right now and like what I tell you all the time, look at me now. and I'm only saying that, you know, because I think that we raised our kids and gave them so much more. Man, let's be honest, bro. The baby boomers probably were the greatest generation in the history of the planet.
100%.
Because they came from the silent generation that literally was right out of the Depression. You know, Ford was popping, the Motortown was popping, Industrial Revolution, people had jobs. The dad used to work, come home to a good cooked meal, a beautiful mom,
good time,
and some kids. Had you a station wagon with wood on the side and a white picket fence. And today we've beat our parents in every metric, but putting grit in kids. And now today's gritless kid becomes the gritless adult.
Okay.
And now, what you gonna do?
Well, I think it's a revolving thing because I think it always repeats itself.
Yeah, but when that's gonna happen? Because at this point right now, you know, the planet might not last another 30 years. You know what I'm saying?
But they said that 30 years ago, right?
I don't know about that.
Think about it. When the year 2000 hit, they said the same thing. End of the world. Oh my God.
That was some conspiracy that got leaked because they didn't know how the time was going to shift. Right. But I'm talking about the state of humanity as we speak right now.
But I think it's the same thing. Because think about this. All right, we talk about civil rights, right? And we talk about the boycott, the Montgomery boycott. We talk about all these events that happen in life, right? That's what we're facing now. And what happened? Black people was resilient. They came back from it. They did all these things, and now we had laws and we had situations that made black people better.
Okay.
All I think is it's like a pendulum, right?
So you think that the pendulum is going to swing back?
Absolutely, always.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
It has to.
Do you think back in the day people was eating genetically modified foods and stuff like that? Impossible burgers that ain't got no meat?
No, there wasn't.
Some additives and soy proteins and stuff injected?
But I think that's going to go away, though. Remember, you just said about social media, remember? Social media and the dating apps and all of these things, they're going away. Okay. The fads are phasing out. Eventually, it's going to go away. Right now, it's prevalent because it's happening, it's popping. You know, everybody's on it. But eventually, it's going to fade away.
I wonder if there's ever going to be a documented study about the impacts of social media on kids and mental health and even the adults and so on and so forth. I wonder if that actually is going to ever take place.
That's a good dissertation, man. Go get a doctorate in that.
Yeah, well, you know what? I don't want any more education. Because number one, today's kid that graduates with a $200,000 student debt can't make that money back in their lifetime.
Yeah, I know.
And so that's a real problem.
Yeah.
And so all I can say is, man, look, hustle, be the best version of yourself. I'm not going to say get back to the old ways, but get to the best ways that we possibly can. Because I just, I'm pulling, I'm teaching, I'm in the communities, I'm giving back as much as I possibly can. Because when I say that a person that opens a business has a 10% success rate.
Yeah, 100%.
Why would you get married with a 10% success rate?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just to say you did it?
Right.
Man, you know how many millions of dollars I've lost supporting small businesses who didn't have their artifacts together.
Do you believe in mentorship?
I do. But remember something. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
Okay.
So to that, I tell people, I'll mentor you, but don't mess my life up.
I got you.
Because I am still selfish and I still got something I want to do. But man, if I can throw you the ball and you're going to catch it, then you might have a spot on the team.
Yeah.
But just don't come over here smelling like weed. What's the athletic leisure? What is it again?
Athleisure.
Athleisure, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Because I want you to look like me because you're a part of my tribe now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so the people that I would seek mentorship to are older men and older women who have had their stories, their journeys, that I can pull some nuggets out of them and just have a healthy, intelligent, mature conversation. Yeah. So even I need mentorship, and I would give the same thing to the person looking for me. Okay?
Yeah, that's good information.
Okay, so each one teach one, right?
Absolutely.
All right, so listen, how can people support you?
Culturally distinct everywhere. I'm everywhere. Website, social media, everything culturally distinct. And it's spelled just like that, culturally distinct. Website, culturally distinct. If you want to donate, you can. I'm all about that. If you want to come on the show as a guest, culturally distinct, hit up Nadia Whitehead. She's going to set it up. Shout out to Nadia Whitehead, by the way.
Oh, yeah, she's great. And I would also say, what's next for you?
What's next for me? Oh, that's a loaded question, man. So I have a lot of things going on, but right now I'm focused on getting this information out, right? Because I think voting is important right now, and getting our places where the people matter the most need to know, and we need to be educated and about getting this law thing back in place, because the Civil Rights Act bill is horrible.
No reason that should ever have come up again.
It's horrible, man. And I don't want to see it happen in no other state. It's happening in Louisiana now. Hopefully, we get a couple of people to vote it down and overturn a decision. But just educate the people, man, right now.
Okay.
Yeah. What about yourself?
For me, I'm going to continue to do God's will.
Yeah.
And I will continue to try to educate and help as many as I can, because I do believe that no man should be left behind. But all I ask is that you want it. That's it. That's a low bar for me, because I've been broken down to that aspect. But on that note, business is war. And today I got a lesson in politics, a lesson in finance, a lesson in cultural development, and all the things that we can do to become a better people. Like I said, this is what the platform is for. And today, Black Adam, you gave it to me, and I appreciate it, my brother.
Thank you, man.
You're welcome here anytime.
Yes,
and that
sir.
is your chair right there,
all
okay?
Right, hey, man. All right. I'll be back here next time.
All right, there you go. All right, we'll put that on the books, and we'll make that happen.
Yes, sir.
But listen, I appreciate you. You stay tuned. You like, you subscribe, you share, you tell any and everybody that you can that there is a place for Black excellence and intelligence on every possible level. And we're going to keep you coming, and we'll see you on the other side, because business is war, and you must protect yourself at all times.